Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. I don't think I've done a reading for you before, but I do so many I'm not sure, but I like to explain real quick. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. Because you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, oh, I know what he's talking about. This is not an exact science. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. They won't give me all the details. They'll give me just enough so hopefully you will understand the message they're trying to get across. It's his ball game, within reason. It's their show. So just kind of keep that in mind a little bit. We do the best we can as far as talking to each other. And they're always more than happy to come through. And it is a little bit harder to get the exact one that you want. So we're going to talk to your dad today. He says, I love you, baby girl. I love you, baby girl. Wish I had told you that more when I was here. And he's showing like his heart area is like huge. He has so much love for you. Still, I promise you 1,000%, they can hear you, they can see you. Talk to him all you want to. He said he's a hop, skip, and a jump away. Over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house we go. They don't always explain why they say something. So not sure if he's referring to you always went to your grandmother's house and she lived over the river and through the woods out in the country, or you've recently done that. It's where it gets a little vague sometimes. They don't always explain everything. He's talking about, I don't remember what he was wearing in the picture. Let me see if I can pull it up without messing this up. No, it's not wearing it. Not the suit he's showing me. This is like somebody recently found, I don't know if he's talking about a picture or actually found a suit that he wore like way back. And it's a light cream colored, but it's like really, really, really outdated suit. Definitely something that somebody probably would not wear now. I said it's light colored. There's a reason. There's a reason for him showing this. So I don't know if it's a picture you've seen recently of him with this light colored suit from way back on, or if somebody actually has this suit or found this suit in the house or something to do with this suit, because he's making a big deal out of it. He's trying to validate that it's him. He shows himself walking through a living room in a house now. See if he'll tell me whose house it is, whether it was his house or it's your house. He's just shown himself walking through a living room. He goes to the front door. There's a window in the front door, and he stands there and he looks out this window, and he's just standing there looking out the window. So I don't know if this was a habit of his. You've either seen him or you're going to see him. And normally it's in your peripheral vision. And even I call this peripheral vision up here too, because you can be looking down and kind of think you see something go by here. Usually it's in your peripheral vision, and they do it to me too, even though I can see them head on. I'll still see somebody walk by. And when you turn to look, there's nothing there, so you just think it was your imagination. No, it's not. So I think you've either seen him go by where he was going to stand at the door and look out, or you're going to. He's not saying which way it is. When you see this, you'll probably get a chill too, like a goosebumps or something along that line. You'll feel the energy. He says, you know, we think life sucks, but it doesn't really. It is what we make of it. Because it is what you make of it. It's your choices. There's some choices I wish I'd done different, but don't we all? I mean, but he said it worked. It worked. He was going to say something else and then he quit. It worked the way it needed to. Not sure what he means by that. He's shown himself playing golf, but it looks like putt-putt golf because it's a little bitty short putter. And he's still got this suit on. Whatever it is with this suit. And a very skinny tie. So that's pretty much, skinny ties were back then too. He feels like a businessman. He's still very businesslike. A little solemn, a little serious. Good energy. Calm, peaceful energy. What would you give for a Klondike bar? Either like Klondike bars, maybe you just ate one, or you like them, or he said that all the time. They don't always tell me why they say something. So he's still showing himself with this little bitty putter at a putt-putt place, and there's little bitty girl there. So I don't know if he's not saying if this is you. And I usually ask him to not give a memory that's so far that's where you're too young to. I'm here. I'll go muttering again. I ask him that not to show a memory where you're so young you won't remember it. But this one you might remember if this is you. He's not saying. He enjoyed it. Or maybe you just recently played putt-putt golf. I don't think we can do anything right now. Sorry. He's talking about hard candy. Some kind of hard candy. Either you just recently ate, could be a piece sitting in front of you, or you guys enjoyed that, or he enjoyed it. And he's trying to validate. A lot of times I have trouble getting them to validate, so you know for sure it's them. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm hearing. Sorry, I'm talking to him. Some kind of a noise in your house. Normally, it's not when you're in the same room. It's like you'll be sitting in the living room and you'll hear something in the other room. Like I was laying on the couch the other night, and clear at the other end of my dining room, which I couldn't see, I heard a kind of a boom. There was nothing there. So that's the way it usually works. He's not giving me. He's can't tell what it is, and I can't even tell which room it is. And usually they show me exactly what kind of noise, where they're at. He's more like where the living room goes to the hallway, or living room goes towards the bedroom's bathroom. Somewhere in there, but I don't know what the noise is. I honestly don't. So if there's some noise in that area, know that that's him. Any signs that he leaves you, make sure you validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more signs if you want them. That's your free will choice. So if you need help with like business type matters, call on him. And like I always tell people, if Uncle Joe didn't have a pot to piss in, you don't call on Uncle Joe to help you with financial stuff, business stuff, because he didn't know how to work it here, and he's still not going to know quite understand how it works down here, even when he's up there. If that makes sense. If I'm not muttering too much, we don't get to be all knowing once we get there, which I always thought we would. But so that would be the area you would call on your dad, and then just sit back and wait for that phone call from somebody out of the blue, or that door to open, or somebody to offer you a job, or something. Some path will open in front of you if it's in your life plan, life path. He will help make that happen. You have to ask. They cannot override your free will choice. And then you have to be ready to allow and accept whatever comes towards you and take steps towards it. My guides are always up there going, Rhonda, we gave you all this great stuff. Why are you saying no? Because I can. Free will. Not the smartest thing, but free will. They make me itch. All right, I'm trying to ask him a question. He's not answering. Hang on. He's holding up a necklace. It's dangling. And there's a little cross on it. Don't know if he gave you one, if he had one. It looks, he's showing a dainty one, so it looks more like it would be for a female. Doesn't have to be. So I don't know if he gave you one or you have one on right now. Okay, as far as your creativity, he says nobody else can do it for you. That has to come from within. But you need to clear the clutter in life out of the way and actually go within. And he's almost showing you coming out of you like rays of sunshine. It's there. Could be a little covered up by the everyday humdrum of life. It's in there like it's boiling, like it's coming to a peak, like it's trying to get out. Okay, he says only you can do it, but he said he's not the one to help with the creativity part. You actually have all kinds of different guides. He's saying creativity guide, but I don't know that there's one actually called that, but just put it out there that you want help with this. and the appropriate guide will step forward. You don't have to know who it is. You don't have to feel them. You don't have to hear them. It doesn't matter. Just ask for that guide to step forward. And once again, things will just start popping in your path. He says you have kind of done that. He says, but you're trying too hard. You're trying too hard. You're stressing out about it. You're trying way too hard. You need to put it out there. You want some help with this. Let the ideas flow freely. Sometimes you get some crazy little weird little thoughts in your head. He says you need to pay attention to them. Quit hiding them because you think somebody else will think you're freaking nuts. Because your ideas are different. That's what creativity is. Just because your ideas are different doesn't mean they're crazy. He says it's like you look over there and you look over there and you go, oh, if I do this, people are going to say I'm crazy, and they're gonna admonish me, ridicule me. I always say, fear is only an emotion. It's not real unless you make it real. Fear is only an emotion. That emotion every emotion can be changed. Fear is a negative emotion. It can be changed to a positive emotion. It's only an emotion, but it stops so many things. And judgment of others towards us is a big, big, big deal. It really holds us back. He's reminding me. I came out of a burger joint with my grandson, and I'm dancing across the parking lot. He goes, Grandma. And I said, do you really think I give a rat's ass what those people on the other side of that window think? I'm going to do what I feel like doing. I don't care about their judgment. Don't worry about other people's judgment. Do what feels right in your heart and soul. He says, let it bust free. You're suppressing it. You have the ideas. He says, don't you think the Wright brothers, everybody thought they were crazy that they could jump off a cliff and fly? He says, most of the people that invented something, most of the other people thought they were crazy until it worked and they got rich. He says, think about every little thing that's been invented that's kind of would have been off the wall to all these other people until they did it and it worked. Look at the guy that invented silly putty. Pet rock. Just don't worry about what all those people think. He's stressing that a lot. He says, you've got it in your heart. You're just not letting it out. You're holding back. Now he's going knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. I'm not going to say 100% that you're going to hear this knock, knock, knock like on a wall or something in your house. And he's standing there in that spot by the living room, kind of towards a hall or towards bedrooms, bathrooms, something down there. And I don't know that you're going to hear the knock, 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 or if he's knock, knock, knocking on you trying to get your attention. So if you feel a tap, 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 Bob takes pool noodles and whacks me over the head trying to get my attention. Sometimes they'll even feels like they stick me with pins. Like, hey, that hurts. You got my attention. So he's trying to get your attention. Compromise. Don't compromise. He says, do not compromise. You don't have to. And he's talking about as far as your creativity. You do not have to compromise. It's all yours. And he's being very, very serious about it. Doesn't have to be a big money maker. And it has to be what is right with your soul, with your heart. He's being very serious. So he's showing you, you must have some big idea or something. There's something. Keep that vision. That's coming from me. Keep that vision. If you can draw a picture of it, put it on your fridge. Whatever that thing is you want to create, or write it down, put it on your fridge and walk by it. And then when the baby steps, if that's all you have to take the steps. You have to take the steps. I mean, if you sit here and it's still out there, you're not going to get any closer. You still have to do the little stuff in between. It's kind of like they have to know you're serious about getting there. And he says write it down. So write down, don't get in detail, but write down a few things like, I always say like 5 things, which I haven't done for a few days. I usually do it every morning. That you want, because my little squirrel brain gets all rattled in there. And first I go, well, I want a blue one. No, I want a white one. No, I want a yellow one. And all over. If you write it down, then your guides and your angels know exactly what it is you want. You don't have to make a big, long, elaborate description of it. Say, I would like to have chewing gum tomorrow. Just make it simple. Can you please help me find some chewing gum tomorrow? I don't know, that's a dumb one, but I couldn't think of anything else. And then just sit back and you'll be surprised what comes forward. Okay, he's showing himself standing here, but then he's showing a whole line of people in spirit, and they're waiting to help you with it. And they're all making it like it's either a really big deal for you or it's a really big deal for them, that this is what you need to do. So somehow this is a really big deal. And your dad is making a big deal of it. How can I help you? So go ahead and ask him for help. And if he can't come up with something to help move you along with it, he will find somebody who can. There's something in you that you need to let out in a good way. So don't be afraid of it. And don't be afraid of those other people. It's none of their business. You should also get the smell of some kind of aftershave, some kind of cologne or something that he always wore when he got cleaned up, like to go, maybe not everyday normal stuff. I don't know, maybe something special. It could have been every day, I'm not sure. Anyway, you'll get a whiff of it, and you can be in the store, in your car, outside, doesn't matter where you're at, in your house. And when you get that smell, once again, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if that's what you want. That's your free will choice. It helps when you acknowledge them. Then they understand that you know that they're there, and you understand that's a sign from them, and then they usually bring you more. There's a father type figure with him, a father type figure to him. And I always say father type because, like, the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother that lives clear across the country. So it's a father type figure, somebody who felt like a father to him that's there with him, very close with him. Your mom will also get the smell of this cologne or whatever this product is that he wore when he was going out. And like I said, you can smell it anywhere, but you really need to acknowledge that you know that that's him. For 2 weeks, one time, as soon as I opened my eyes, I smelled chocolate chip cookies. Never figured out who it was. They never stepped forward to let me know who it was, and I didn't associate it with anything. So now, when you smell these things, you'll know. He's talking about jasmine. Something about jasmine. He just seems very businesslike, very matter of fact kind of. Of course I can see you. Not in a cocky, snotty way, just like, of course I can see you. Like, he hangs around there a lot. I don't think he really makes himself known a lot. And a lot of them don't. Like, they'll stay off in a corner or something because they're not sure if they should step forward. They don't feel like they need to step forward. They don't want to scare you, make you think your house is haunted, because most of the time when I go to cleanse somebody's house, they go, "Oh, I've got all these noises." No, it's just grandma coming in to check on you. You're not haunted. So asking, giving permission to come in your house, free will choice, if that's what you want, giving permission to come in, asking to step forward. I don't know what he means. He said he hardly knew. He hardly knew. He's not saying why he's saying that. The script is already written. He's talking about your life plan. It's already written. I've never heard him say that before, but I have learned that before we come here, we decide before we come here what we're going to do, what we're going to learn. This is school. What are we going to learn when we get here? What's the next thing our soul needs to learn? And it doesn't always happen exactly like we plan it. Sometimes we take these little whoop-de-doops around because we have free will choice, so we can say no, we can say yes, we can do whatever along the way. But the script is already written. That's different. And he's talking about chocolate cake, and it looks like a birthday cake. I don't see candles on it, but he's talking about chocolate cake. It's got nice thick dark chocolate icing on it. I don't know if you recently. He's not saying birthday though. He's showing a tall, round one. Round. Doesn't have to be that shape. So I don't know if you just made one or you getting ready to, or it's not for me to know. I don't need to know. I love you, baby girl. I wish I had told you that more. Know that I'm always with you. I'm just a psst away. I'm that close. All you have to do is say my name. And I'll be there. Oh, now he's breaking out in song. I'll be there. Is it the Michael Jackson 5? I think it was Michael Jackson. I'll be there. I'll be there. Hang on. Okay, what Alexa gave me was a different song. It's not the one he's singing, but this is just the way it works. I don't want to go into big, long explanation. She gave me I'll Be There by Walk Off the Earth. Never heard of him. Well, she pops up with that group every so often. So go YouTube, Google that song. Let me see if I can get the other one. I want to get the one that he's actually singing. But it works this way. If I tell her to play something, the song that pops up. Anyway, go Google the words. Taking up time. Hang on. Okay, so the one he's singing is I'll Be There by Jackson 5. Doesn't matter if he liked Michael Jackson. Doesn't matter if he liked Jackson 5. That doesn't matter. It's the words of the song. So you got two of them. Go Google them, YouTube them. There's, excuse me. There's words in there. From him to you. And know that he'll be there. Just believe. Just believe. It doesn't hurt to believe. He says because it is true. He's going to help push you. He's like standing behind you, pushing you. So you could even, show me again. So you could even feel that on the back of your shoulders, like he's got his hands like pushing you. Not sure if you'll feel this one or not. Usually they show me if you're going to feel it or not, but kind of upper shoulder pushing you. So you could feel a little pressure there. You could feel warmth, tingling. Like I said earlier, sometimes like they were trying to get my attention. It felt like stuck me with a pin 3 times. And I said, hey, who's that? That hurt. And the very next pin stick was on my tattoo that has Bob's name. So I knew it was him trying to get my attention. So know if you feel that warmth, tingling, pushing, that's your dad. Acknowledge him. Tell him you love him. And ask him to keep helping. Okay, with that, he's going to leave. And he is talking about a birthday. So somebody, either him, you, or somebody very, very close to you is either just had or just getting ready to have a birthday. Somebody in your tight little circle. And he's acknowledging it. I love you. I love you, baby girl. I will take care of you. Don't count me out. Wishes come true. Dreams come true. Keep the faith. Don't back down. Be a lion. And with that, he's leaving. Much love to you, my dear. Thank you for being patient. I kind of got bombarded there for a little bit, so getting caught up. So much love to you. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice.